Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. Due to the kind of unique set of circumstances that led me here and the unique set of circumstances that allow me to work in the capacity that I do, a lot of people ask me about second passports, and a lot of them know that I am a naturalized Thai, so the sort of issue of multiple passports and the issue of dealing with naturalization is something I've dealt with even on a personal level. But a lot of folks have been asking me recently about second passports, especially Americans, and it finally caused me to make this video because I read an article from Zero Hedge. The article is titled, "Rich Americans Scrambling to Buy, quote-unquote, Golden Passports to Second Country." There's a lot in there, but they end up actually quoting Bloomberg, and I'm going to go ahead and quote from that quotation within this article. I felt like it was right to fully cite the chain of how I found this. So, quoting directly from Bloomberg, which is quoted in this Zero Hedge article, "The so-called citizenship by investment programs haven't historically been as popular with Americans since one of their main draws, the favorable tax regimes of adopted countries, has been of little benefit to citizens of the U.S., one of the few nations to tax its people regardless of where they live." And we've gone over that, just a side note, sort of sidebar here. We've gone over that in great detail with respect to, yes, Americans are basically, a second passport doesn't relieve you of your tax liabilities in the United States. Quoting further, "The current heightened interest among U.S. citizens predates the coronavirus pandemic, but the crisis has helped turbocharge demand as they plan for how to maintain some freedom of movement with lockdown measures increasing amid a swelling second wave of COVID-19 cases." Now, I don't know exactly if Bloomberg is quite on the money on that with respect to everybody looking at this as a response to COVID. I think this kind of happens in cycles. And I think a certain age group, there's a certain subset of folks in a certain age group that get to a certain age and they say, I really would like to live abroad, and it would be easiest to do that if I have another nationality in some cases. Now, and again, there's been this globalization process of the world. There's a lot going on here. I don't think you can lay this all at the COVID response's feet. But, second nationality, it is what it is. I mean, I think people, I don't want to get too in-depth on this, but I think people kind of view it as a bigger deal than it really is. It certainly provides substantial benefits, but I mean, the notion, again, like they note in there, there's not a lot of tax for an American that maintains their American nationality. There's not a lot of tax benefit to taking another nationality. Meanwhile, if anything, there could be some extra, well, there's definitely a lot of extra documentation and processing necessary to naturalize to another citizenship. I mean, that will depend on the country, the level of complexity associated therewith. But long story short, for example, a country like Thailand, the citizenship process it's quite an undertaking, let me tell you. But other countries, so-called citizenship by investment programs, it's a pretty streamlined process. It may not be the most inexpensive process in the world, but it may be streamlined. So the reason I'm making this video is, I think that there's a little bit more demand this year than most, but this is something I've been aware of for many, many years, and I haven't really noticed just some dramatic spike in demand. But again, that could also be due to the fact that travel is more difficult right now. There may, in fact, be a lot of pent-up demand that has yet to fully manifest because folks can't actually travel in order to basically meet the requirements necessary to go ahead and get their nationality in whatever country they're looking to be in. Again, circumstances will vary, but I'll probably make another video in upcoming weeks or maybe months regarding the topic of second citizenship, just to see how it progresses as the months go by.